welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update for Monday, October 19th, 2020.
Welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market
Whoa.
Update for Monday, October 19th,
Why do we got
2020. To the Breaking Bitcoin Market
Whoa.
Update.
Sorry about that, guys. I think Alex has his screen tuned to the stream today, but let's ignore that little hitch just now and get into introducing everything. Let me unmute Alex here. Here we go. Alex, welcome to the show. Alex, of course, is joining me this morning. I am covering very briefly for Justin. Justin is on the road this morning. He got a little delayed, so he told me he's going to be here in about 30 minutes to take over the show, but in the meantime, we don't want to leave people hanging, so Alex and I will be getting things warmed up for Justin today. So, of course, Bitcoin, then we're going to take a quick look at the Btc chart here in front of us, gentlemen. I'm sure if you're all waking up, you've probably seen the leg up this morning. Let's take a look. Let me drag my chart a little over in this direction. I see it didn't save. So we're currently at 11,767. We kind of tapped a little over 11,800 this about an hour ago. Things are, I'm not sure if I'd say looking bullish, but another day, another uptick. How about you, Alex? How you doing today, first off, and how's Bitcoin looking to you?
Well, first of all, I'm doing great. I had a wonderful weekend. I went hiking with my family, and I went grocery shopping, caught up on chores, super adulty stuff, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Right on, right on.
As far as Bitcoin, I think things are exactly where we've been saying things were going to be for the last couple months now. If you are you showing my screen right now?
Let me move over to it now. Let's take a look. Let's head into the main scene. And, yep, your screen is now being shared.
And seen. Okay, guys. So we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, since the relative beginning of October. We had the break of this smaller symmetrical triangle setup, and we took a measured move from the break, which we have just completed today. We are still, we here at Cracking Crypto, we're still looking at this area to begin to get short from. So now that our measured move of the break here is completed, I would really like to see a little bit more continuation through resistance right here, and just make like at least a small assault on 12K. If we go down into the lower time frames down here, we don't see a lot of volume being transacted at this level like we would expect to see at a top or a bottom, where people are like unloading their bags or loading up on stuff. So I don't feel comfortable being like, oh, okay, well, we pegged our measured move, so let's rush into our shorts here. We haven't gotten a new sign of weakness from Bitcoin yet. So over here, this was our first sign of weakness. We had this head and shoulders or triple top pattern, broke down right here, and then we just kind of lazily traded sideways for more than a month. And now we're back here at 12K, and yes, when you look at the weekly, it's really hard to want to get in front of this and be like, oh yes, let's short this. Here, let me hide this stuff. When you look at this is not your first thought being, oh, I want to get in the middle of this, but we've been looking at this area as strong resistance for support, resistance. So I think the best thing to do in this area is to still, I would want to still remain flat until we break and hold above 12,000. Or, if you're looking for shorts, then I would fade a break back below 12,000. It's like, well, there we go. We're not going to hold that. So what does that look like on Ethereum? Let's send it over to
Hey, before we dive into Ethereum, I'm just going to quickly say hi to everybody in the live chat. Thank you to everybody who joined us early. I see Sainzy was in here early. He says, what an exciting day. He's looking forward to today's show. Yep, glad to have everyone here. GBU Professor Wally was in here early too. He said, sup fools, wonder how much the IMF will be in today's show. IMF. Yep, we will be covering the IMF story today. One of the main topics of the discussion at the annual meeting was digital currencies. So we'll see what Fed Chair Jerome Powell had to say on that. It seems that even the mainstream financial reporting media was very curious about Jerome Powell's comments today concerning a digital US dollar. We'll get into that in the news story. Kyle Mitchell is in the live chat. Sneaks123 says hi from Switzerland. Hello, Sneaks. Brian B puts up a couple beers, says cheers. Yes, it's a little early for the beers, but we'll hold on to those later tonight. Mr. Unicorn is in here.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, precisely. Peckham08 says, I'm still waiting for, or he says, I'm still saying 6K on the nose, December 17th. 2020, 14:30 GMT. Wow. So Peckham08 coming out of the live chat with a very, very specific prediction. 6K on the nose, December 17th. All right, we'll watch it. We'll hold you to it. He says he's not going to be drawn
Someone
from his...
screenshot that.
Indeed, right? We'll definitely have to drag that up come December. Mr. Ether says he's not getting YouTube notifications. Binance quarterly burn 2 million plus this quarter. Okay.
You got YouTube notification today?
Let me see if I did. I didn't, but I got a DLive notification. So, YouTube is hit or miss when it comes to notifications, guys. Be sure to leave a comment in the live chat if you're a subscriber. Tell us if you got a notification or not. Bflow says hola. S180XT says heya, and Profit Bear is in the live chat saying, how are we doing, CC fam? We are doing good today, guys. It's a Monday. Let's get this week started. I like seeing my portfolio open nice and green on the Monday. It's always a refreshing feeling to wake up to that. York finally says hey, and Peckham08 says screenshot for prosperity, unless you mean posterity, but sure. All right, let's head back to Alex's.
Maybe both.
Potentially both, yes, indeed. That could be one way to look at it. We're going to head back to Alex's live stream. Alex, you're going to take us through Ethereum really quick. And just a reminder, anybody tuning in a little late, Justin is running a few minutes late. I expect to see him here in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so stay tuned. You're going to get Justin's thoughts and analysis coming up within the hour. In the meantime, you know how we do it. We got Alex, the senior analyst, in here, and he's going to take us through the charts nice and quick. And if you got requests, guys, in the live chat, drop them in there. We will get to your charts sooner or later. So, Alex, it's all you.
Okay. Yeah, guys, market cap, Bitcoin dominance is currently rising. So this is telling us that right now Bitcoin is the safer bet to be in than alts, and that's this is a trend that's continued for the last month and a half or so. On lower time frames, we can see that we're actually we seem to be in the process of breaking out of rather heavy resistance here at 60% market cap dominance. So let's look at. We just got a new weekly candle yesterday. So let's take a look at the different markets on the weekly, and then we'll swing back over to Ethereum as the lead alt, kind of get a sense of the rest of the workings of the rest of the alt market. All right, so Uniswap coins, we're seeing the perpetual index, I would say slowly lose momentum. At least we were getting that here at what looked like support, but we're starting to looks like we're starting to break back down here on DeFi. We got a very strong downward candle last week that did not include a wick in the support that we had previously. Let's see if that remains true here. Privacy coins not looking as bad. Exchange coins starting to look really rough. Now, previously, last month, exchange coins looked like they were going to be the new Bitcoin, maybe over DeFi. But over the past week, we have had we've had the Justice Department put down all those new guidelines against centralized exchanges. Think BitMEX. I know people are scared about having their money on Bybit and FTX and all these other things that we're using VPNs on these days. OKB, OKEX, that coin. I don't know if anybody's seen OKB this week, but it's not doing so hot, guys. This is yeah. So
Doesn't help.
think
Doesn't help that the founder is currently, in a interrogation by Chinese authorities with his, what, in a vice, probably getting extorted.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, this is super ugly for OKEX futures. Let's take a look at Huobi token. Looking pretty weak here. I mean, I would much rather be. Oh, I mean, come on, look at that. Who doesn't want to be short that, guys? Tell you what, if you go short Huobi token and you make a buttload of money, please tip me out. Because I'm telling you guys, exchange coins, they just died this week. Boom, just like that. Binance token. We took out a position on Binance right over here because it was looking really strong. And as strong as Binance has been, I don't know if this is going to hold out. You see, we're approaching a lot of resistance up here at this point, which is kind of what's happening on the broader markets in general. Let's go on over here to QQQ, the NASDAQ. Last week, we put in an indecision doji. More than that, sellers were stronger than buyers last week. At resistance. Interesting. This is where Jason and I said we wanted to start looking for shorts on the major markets from. Let's send over the SPY. Does that look like a strong weekly candle? Doesn't look that strong to me as we approach resistance here. Dow Jones doesn't look super strong to me here. It wouldn't take super bad news for us to put in a lower high here, guys. As a matter of fact, it's almost expected. The market as a whole is, it's fairly topped out. Almost anything could push the market over the edge. I mean, let's say Trump gets COVID again, or I can't even imagine what news we could get in the next 2 weeks. But I really feel like this week and next week, the 2 weeks before the election, this is where we're going to find out what direction the market is going to be going in for the next several months. If we break down from here as resistance, which is what Justin and I think are going to happen here, then I probably take this all the way down. Probably take the Dow all the way to at least here, the local market point of control. And we'd want to do the same for Bitcoin. I expect Bitcoin to fall from this area. Let's see if Bitcoin returns to its 6K point of control, could come all the way down to this area. Here we go. You can see the point of control in this area on BitMEX better. These are areas that price likes, that wants to return to, that sellers and buyers, they agree mentally. It's like, yeah, Bitcoin's worth $6,000. Sellers like, yeah, I'll sell it for that. Buyers like, sure, I'll buy it for that. It makes sense for people. But right now, the buyers are looking at 12K and they're like, I'm not sure Bitcoin is worth $12,000 to me right now. And that's why we're not seeing a lot of volume come in as we're approaching resistance right here. You should see people hungrily FOMOing into Bitcoin because, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out as Bitcoin blasts through 12K. But we're not seeing that reaction right now. I think for Ethereum, what we're still looking at is a test of this area up here. You would think if I'm looking to short this spot on Bitcoin that I'd be looking to short this spot on Ethereum, but actually looking at Bitcoin here, we just need to take a small leg up. When Bitcoin takes a small leg up to retest 12K, and boom, suddenly we're at 440. So this is still the plan, to wait until Ethereum gets into the 440 range, maybe even taps 470, and then begin looking to short it back down to this untested consolidation area. Basically the $300 to $275 range, right around here. So we broke $300, and then we kind of never retested it from above. And I'd really like to see Ethereum do that. I think it'd be healthy with an overall market downturn. I know it looks strong, guys, but there's still a lot of resistance above us. Don't forget that. Support below us is not as strong as you think it is. Don't forget, the people out there are still hurting. The economy is not fantastic right now, despite what the stock market might tell you. What's the chat say?
Let's take a look. I see one comment just came in from Jose Caneta, and he's saying, he's asking Alex, why aren't you using the CC baseline?
Oh, I can put the baseline on. We're well above the baseline on the daily, guys. The baseline is not currently a concern.
Yeah, I don't think
I
Alex.
don't have the baseline on because the baseline isn't really telling us any information. Well, actually, you know what? I disagree. Technically, it's telling us to be bullish right now. I would say there's a PTP long that should a continuation long should come on Ethereum later today. You could probably take that from 400 to the 440 area, and then maybe hold it, see what happens on Bitcoin. Bitcoin will get a daily signal at the end of today. We'll get a continuation signal with a nice bullish bottom above zero on time transformation. So it's yet another reason why I think we're gonna make an assault on the 12K range rather than just hang there and drop. But I think you raise a really good point in saying hey, where's the baseline? The baseline is saying to be bullish. We are bullish. We're bullishly postured right here. And while there's many reasons that Justin and I believe the market will face a downturn in this area, both technical and fundamental in nature, it doesn't mean we'll necessarily be right. It happens where I don't want to say we're wrong all the time, but I mean, it happens. In this business, if you are right 65% of the time, you're killing it. I mean, yeah, that's like an F grade on your high school test, but anything better than 50-50 is, you're doing something right. You got an edge on the market. So, yeah, the baseline doesn't really tell us anything right now because we have been above the baseline since, early September. And we've stayed there.
I got another question here from Jake Weller, and this regards to BTC, and he's asking, what do you think it's going to do in the next 3 to 4 hours? So maybe he's referring to BTC on the...
the scalp that he can take for some cash. So let's take a look.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna pump towards 11.9 again within the next few hours. I'm not seeing sellers step in very strongly right here. And while I wouldn't call this a lot of buying volume, I see a lot more buying volume than I do selling volume right now. I would much rather maybe long a retest of this area right here if we can catch it. But I would want to be long in this area if you are scalping right now. If you're swing short, if you're swing trading, I would not want to be long in this area because we're facing resistance and it's smarter to either wait for the break or wait for a sign of weakness that we can short. Like we're seeing on great example is Huobi token, where if we look on the weekly, it's like here's another reason why I don't have baseline on, because when I'm looking at the weekly, it does not like that. Things look pretty strong here, but we never broke above resistance. So if you longed here or here, there was a full week here where things looked really strong. We can, I could do a go back over here.
We got a super chat just came in from Jose Caneta. He's just saying $5 and a thank you. So thank you to Jose. Thank you for the
Thank you,
$5. Anytime, Jose, if you need Alex to field one of your questions, guys, feel free to drop them in the live chat. Alex, please continue.
Okay. So, all right, where was I? Yeah. So yeah, if we put it on bar replay, there were a few weeks here where in the middle of the week you looked over, you're like, oh man, Huobi token is looking so bullish today. I'm going to throw along on this. Even though the week hasn't closed yet, it looks strong. I like it. What happens? Keep going forward. Oh, it's so strong. Oh, wait, maybe not so strong. That's okay. It was just retesting support. I'm going to long this spot. This looks good, doesn't it? Oh, that's okay. It was just another retest. Just another retest. This is it. Going long here. Oh, no. Talking to people.
No problem. You're back. Let me just see if my live stream has been restored. Alright, I'm hopefully back. Sorry for the intermission there, guys. Yeah, I think we're back. Alright, Alex, you should be... Oh, let me restore Alex's live stream here. Let's take a look. See, I guess I should have disconnected from my VPN before starting the stream, but
yeah,
what can you do? All right, we are back, gentlemen, and I was actually just gonna say hi to a few more people who just showed up in the live chat. I see Utah. Utah's asking for Xrp Usd. Yep, we'll go into that. One Southside Playa says short Texas. I think he means short Texas crude. Wakchui says what's up. Smiles J says he needs Wi-Fi assistance. Okay, we'll look into that. Jake Weller, what do you hope? Okay, we covered that. Tyler Dukacek, we will answer that question shortly. T-Dub, I see Sneaks123, I think I said hi to him. I see a lot of questions piling in. Let's see. Boris Bitcoin says, hey, can you guys give me your thoughts on the Dixie and some of the major FX pairs like Euro, US? Yep, we will definitely get into FOREX in a little bit. Challenge Investor says Alex works more and sleeps less than Trump. How about that? Visuals by Vlad says, yo, check out XLM. We will look at XLM. Kyle Mitchell says Alex is Trump. Hits his alter ego like in Fight Club. That I don't know about. That would really shock me, to be honest, if that was the case.
Shock me.
Maybe he came out of some kind of lab. Maybe Alex was hatched as part of a contingency plan for the U.S. president. T-Dub, CRO, USDT. Oh man, the requests are piling in, so we're gonna take them one at a time. Alex, do you want to keep going on with your analysis, or do you want me to throw you a request? How do you feel?
Let's head on over. I heard a request for the Dixie and some Forex pairs. I will run through that quickly because I think the Dixie is related to the other stuff that's going on in the market. So top over.
Yeah, they're calling you Alex. They're calling you Alex Durden now.
Nice. Guys, the Dixie looks weak here. It looks like we could not get back over resistance in the spot, and we're breaking back down. At this point, We're getting a. Is this confirmed? Let me zoom in here. Yeah, I think this is a confirmed cross under on the weekly Dixie for time transformation. This would suggest further upside for the stock market, further downside for the dollar, and most likely further upside for other foreign currency pairs. Let's hop on over. We'll take a look at the other ones. We've got the Axie, which looks weak. So I would expect further downside on the Australian dollar in the coming weeks and months, actually, because it looks like we couldn't make it back over resistance here. So British pound, the Btc, more weakness, I think, in the spot. I would rather be short the British dollar than long it, but ultimately we're still kind of trading sideways and have been for a month. Canadian loonie, looking kind of strong here. We got a bullish cross, a bottom above zero on time transformation right here, and we're seeing something very similar for the Swiss franc, Swissy, and to a lesser extent the European dollar, which is strong today, but has not been that strong over the past few weeks, and so isn't looking as bullish as the loonie is in this spot right here. And then with the dollar and the yen being the two I guess safety currencies that people tend to rush into when they feel less speculative, Japanese yen is also downish today, kind of trading sideways. We'll look at it on the monthly. We'll see that Japanese yen is trading near its historical resistance, and it's done a good job of, I think, approaching this resistance quite strongly. Ultimately, we have to view this entire area as a potential reversal zone for the Japanese yen to kind of break back down and retest its lows. I'd be very hesitant to try and predict the Japanese yen was gonna break a multi 5-year trading range like this suddenly. So it's something to keep an eye on. But ultimately, I wouldn't place any big bets on it so far. Let's take a look here. Pound through these super fast style. Oof. Aussie JPY, stay short. Not looking good. Yep, same for any Australian dollar pairs. All look very short. Oh, it looks like this short that I picked out for you guys a little while ago is about to finish out. I think I called this for you probably all the way back in this area. Yeah. Euro Aussie, strong. This actually looks like a very strong spot to be taking the Euro Aussie. I like this. We just kind of broke out of this trading range. I think today. Yeah, I like it. I would take this long on the daily, the weekly, the 3-day. These all look very, very strong for a continuation here on the Euro Aussie dollar. Aussie USD looks weak here. I would expect to take this for continued downside. As you can see, I've got a little setup right here. I think I was talking with someone on that. Throw that in here. Might go take these after the show gets out. Oof. Aussie dollar. Let's see, anything Aussie dollar is weak right now, guys. You can see this on the currency indice right here. On the 3-day and the weekly. This huge bearish engulfing candle we put in last week. This break a trend right here. And then when we go and we look at the various pairings that the Aussie dollar is involved in, see, all the Aussie dollar quote pairs are weak. Any Aussie dollar base pair is strong, because if the Aussie dollar is falling, then anything that is quoted against it as base is going to go up. Weak, weak, these CAD positions are just kind of trading sideways. I don't feel strongly about them one or the other. Euro CAD here too. Although I really like this to short this over the long term. This looks like a nice trend. That it doesn't scream short me in the same way that the dollar pairings did. And I gotta say, you should always take the stronger trades. That has been my experience. Even if you might be a little late to the party, it's better to be in the stronger trade.
Hey, did we lose you, Alex? Because you're going a little robot there for a bit.
Chester, yeah, my boy.
Yeah, Alex, I think we missed some of your last sentence. You're breaking up a bit. You're going a little robot on us.
See, nice in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you might be back
Okay.
now. I think
Am I better now?
Yeah, I think you're back now. Am I coming through okay?
Am I better?
What's with the big delay between us? You're fine, but it seems like there's a big lag between the two of us.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead for now, okay?
Yep, keep going.
Okay. Euro Swissy. No, I'm just not talking right now. I'm thinking. Euro Swissy it's weak. I think I told you guys a while ago that I wanted to take it down to this area. And if you took my call in this spot, then you're a trooper. It took a while to procure, but it's finally fulfilling. This weekly has not closed yet, but it looks strong. I would much rather be long in the spot than I would. Oh, let's take a look at other Kiwi pairs right now. So does that mean that the Kiwi is going to be especially weak? Let's take a look. Well, it's not going to be weak against the dollar because we know the dollar is super weak right now. Buddy. This is exhibiting similar weakness to the Aussie dollar, but I'm not convinced in the same way that I am with the Aussie dollar.
You heard it here, folks.
This break of this trend right here. What's that?
I said you heard it here first, folks. Short that Aussie into the ground, or as
the Aussie dollar is weak.
Or as Tyler.
The New Zealand dollar here. I'm shocked. So I've been following the news on New Zealand. New Zealand's prime minister was just incumbent prime minister was just reelected. Everybody's super happy with her. Their economy is doing well because they didn't have huge COVID problems. I wonder. I can't help but wonder why this chart is looking weak, but it is. The New Zealand dollar is looking a little weak compared to the US dollar right here. All right, Kiwi Loonie. Gotta love these names, guys. Also weak here, but not a super. No, trend doesn't make sense to me in that way. I'm not sure. Nothing so obvious. My computer's really lagging out right now. I do not know what's going on.
Yeah, you're breaking. This is kind of tell your audio. Your audio's kind of breaking up. What I would recommend, actually, if you can, disconnect from the staff voice and reconnect, because after my connection dropped out, you might be routed improperly. So if you can, just kind of reconnect to the voice altogether. All right, pardon the little delay here, folks. We're gonna just get Alex to reconnect to the Discord. I have a feeling if he does, that might solve a bit of his laggy voice. We know how annoying that can be. Let's take a look here. I'm gonna keep you guys company real quick and scroll up the live chat. I see challenged investor and Jose Caneta. Oh, you're back, eh?
Hey?
I think you're back.
Hey, okay.
Okay, so hold on before you. Don't forget to share your screen one more time, because
yeah, that's important.
Yep.
You guys are always so demanding. I want to see your screen. What are you talking about, Alex?
All right. I was just kind of quickly going over the chat real quick. Welcome back, Alex. You sent your voice sounds good again. I think everything's good. All right. So, Challenge Investor says short all currencies versus gold. He tells Jose Caneta silver has much more upside percentage-wise than Bitcoin. Jose seems to agree. He couldn't get his hands on silver, and it was $12 earlier this year, and he feels he missed the train. Same thing with gold. There was a buying opportunity this year. A few people feel like they missed it. According to Challenged Investor, silver, the physical at least, isn't going any lower. If spot price declines, premiums increase due to lack of supply. There's a huge demand for silver right now. So
interesting.
Yep. Challenge Investor bullish on the silver, for sure. If people are going to be hedging, and it's right now, and if there's a lot of uncertainty going into Q4 in 2021, I can see PMs like silver still doing well. Tyler Dukacek says Dixie trying to bounce on the lower time frames.
We'll see about that.
Tyler also says, behold the powerful Australian dollar.
It does look like it's going to bounce on lower time frames right now.
And finally, Wook Chewy. Sound is good. T-Dubs. Yep, T-Dubs in here. David Rice. Welcome, David Rice. David Rice says he just picked up 30 pounds of silver. Nicely done. Zacoma, Binance, Jersey shutting down. Yeah, heard about that. We might touch on that. And Cornholio finally says, hey all, first day of SPX dumps, BTC pumps. Is decoupling here to stay or a bull trap? You know, that's something I'm going to touch on because I did notice a few analysts today describing the quote-unquote decoupled market conditions we're seeing today, where for once, the Dixie... I think heads down. We've been watching the Dixie kind of correlated or reversely correlated, and now it's doing the opposite. Alex, what do you think? Are we getting a bit of a decoupling?
No. So Bitcoin went up, the Dixie went down. That's kind of what we've been saying has been happening. And now I think what they might mean about the decoupling is the S&P 500 went down and Bitcoin went up.
Yeah, he did specifically mention SXP, but I've seen a few articles today correlating it with other assets, saying that there is some kind of decoupling to be observed. But guys, one candle, one day does not make a pattern, I suppose.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that point. I think it's a really cute narrative, but that's just I'm just not seeing that. It's like $150 move on Bitcoin. I mean, guys, take your hands off your dicks for a second and just like zoom out. It's not a huge move. It feels like it because volatility has been so low on Bitcoin for the last few months that people are naturally zoomed in on that area. But I don't see it as a hugely bullish move. It still, could easily be an approach on an approach towards resistance.
Right. All right. I'm going to get into a couple of the last comments here, and then maybe we can jump back into crypto. I got a few crypto requests, unless you got something else on mind.
Yeah.
All right. Last couple of comments here. David Rice, 60 pounds of lead, or 60 pounds lead to protect my silver. I guess he means like a lead safe. £60 safe to protect all his silver. Okay, smart. Jose Caneta, he says, I noticed Bitcoin Cash pumping away before Bitcoin earlier this week. Maybe we'll look at BCH. Tyler Dukacek says, yeah, I'm wondering about that too. North American stocks in the dumps while Bitcoin pumps. Yep, that seems to be how Monday opened, but let's see here. Okay, Alex, if you may, bring us into, say, we need to do CRO USDT. I notice a lot of people requesting Crypto.com and the USDT pairing. This thing has been in the dumps ever since the guys at Crypto.com.
Guys, it still looks like nope. It looks even more like shit than it did last week. Stay out of it. Next.
We got XRP USD, I think. Let me scroll up. I saw that a little earlier. Where did I see XRP USD was requested by Utah earlier. Let's take a look at XRP USD.
It's a shame there's not more places to short Crow from, but I'm sure they set it up that way to help prevent price discovery. I think it looks pretty bullish. I'd want to take it up to this area. Same as Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just kind of lagging a little bit right now. But I like this this bounce off this local point of control. You can see right in this spot. This little spike in volume. Move up, break above it, retest. Should print a nice little bullish divergence here at the end of the day on XRP USD. So yeah, I would want to take it long in this area here, at least. Yeah, I like this spot. Next.
Let's see here. I saw one from a new user in the chat. Okay, I'm just gonna call you Doka, and he says, I'm new to this. Is this a good time to buy Bitcoin? Well, I'll tell you what. If you are new, my advice to you would be buy a little bit. Okay, don't go all in right now, but certainly do take your time, do your research, and buying a little right now kind of takes that FOMO need away, the need to kind of buy in today. So you don't go in with your full bag immediately and watch the price tank and then you make another mistake from there. Your best bet is to take it slow. If you want to get comfortable with it, buy a small allocation today, learn how to buy it, store it, kind of transfer it, and get into the space. Like you said, you're new to this, buy a little bit and just wait. And then buy a little more in a week, buy a little more in a month, and so forth. And I think you might be better off for it, and it'll give you a chance to kind of wet your feet slowly. Alex, any thoughts? Should someone new to this be buying their Bitcoin allocation right now?
They should learn what the term dollar cost averaging means and then do that thing. They should not be trading, especially not now.
Yeah, if you're going to buy and hold, then it's never a bad time to buy. Buy a little here, buy a little there. Average your way into it. You can expose yourself to lower prices and give you an opportunity to get in and kind of average your entry in. And then hopefully you'll catch the train for the next big cycle. But never panic into a position. Never think that you see a big green candle on Bitcoin. Oh my God, the price is taking off on me. It's never coming back down. Don't panic. A lot of people have done this. Every time we break above 10K, people think it's on, and this is where people buy tops. Not to say that, like we've been saying all stream, we can't predict the future, but we're going to remain, I guess, very apprehensive of any major pumps just yet. We've seen the resistance, as Alex pointed out earlier, several times above us being tested in recent months. Let's see here. I see a question. I see a request by Visuals by Vlad saying, "Can we check out Stellar XLM, please?"
I don't know. It's been pretty disappointing the entire market. This entire run. I'm not sure why it would change. Let's take a look. We'll look at USDT. I mean, it looks like every other chart right now. You know, it's a nice weekly signal. I mean, look, you know, it looks good. We've got falling volume on the weekly. We've got a nice time transformation weekly signal right here where it's very oversold. But I mean, if you want to rush into the alt market right now, be my guest. I can't even figure out where Bitcoin is going, let alone where the alts are going right now. So I'm still pretty flat. But there's definitely worse positions you could take, sure.
Yeah, the signal looks legit, but as Alex says, we might be in for a turbulent time in the market now. May not be the time to rush into the alts. Sage advice coming to you from Alex.
Or maybe we'll do well against Bitcoin, but you'll still lose USD value if if Bitcoin ends up falling. So I would just be really careful, guys. Yeah.
All right. I see here Smiles J says he needs Wi-Fi assistance. Can we pull up a Wi-Fi? What's that thing doing? The Coinbase guy is still.
I was looking at it earlier. It was just kind of trading sideways last couple of days. Let me get a better. Finance going to be enough. It's enough data. Yeah. So yeah, it's just been kind of trading sideways for the last few days. I was watching it yesterday to try and get a sense of whether it'd be a good idea to try and maybe long it back to resistance, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if it was a good idea to short it again from this spot, take it even further south. Here, let's pull up Wi-Fi on ChartX to get a little bit more data. So I would definitely, probably not long this spot right here. See if we get any possible trend breaks. Not on log, not on linear. Maybe on linear.
I think we're really fishing there, aren't we?
Yes and no. I'm definitely not saying, take a position off of this, but it'll give us a good idea of whether or not things are changing for YFI.
And maybe DeFi in general.
I think I would still like to see YFI, shake out a few more people, but things have gotten really bearish for YFI recently. And, the market has the market is fickle, but things change rapidly. Keep your eyes on it.
I guess depends with the
One
macro.
thing I've been interested in shorting is Filecoin. Filecoin, which has a diluted market cap of what, $120 billion. I shorted Filecoin from like here to here. That was very nice.
Kyle Mitchell says Filecoin will be the coin of 2021. Watch this space.
Oh, I'm watching it. It appears to be an utter disaster. I feel very sorry for the miners.
Jose Caneta says not so much a trade, but more of a hodl.
What, the Filecoin? Oh,
Filecoin, yeah. Challenge Investor says same thing goes for Theta.
let's see. I took profit on my Theta short earlier. Maybe it looks like I probably shouldn't have. Yeah, so I shorted Theta from, I don't know where I caught it, here to like here, and then it was looking kind of like bouncy, but perhaps I shouldn't have exited so soon. I was going to try and recapture it for a bounce. It's a healthy retest on Theta right now. Nothing to get too worried about. If we got to break into this trend, then it would be worrisome. But if you're a long-term Theta holder, then you could survive this. Although, I don't know, we could get a strong monthly close signal, which could end up like, it's not, is it still lend? Let's see. Oh, come on. It's all new charts everywhere. We don't have any historical data on lend and AAVE anymore.
Super annoying.
What a bunch of bullshit. Come on, get your shit together, TradingView. This is some amateur BS. Okay. Well, guys, you know what?
Still not a lot of data.
Really? Oh, there we go. So we got a monthly time transformation signal here on lend. Oh, let me show it. It was on, I think it was on lend Bitcoin pairing. Well, guys, I cannot show you. You'll have to take my word for it that last month there was a sell signal on lend.
Yeah, that ticker symbol change
Sticker's ruined.
and rebase
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
ruined the ticker. All right, let's move along, guys. Let's move along. I saw something here that caught my interest. Okay, so we got a question from Trevor, and he says, "How do you guys feel about DeFi Pulse Index? It's available on token sets. Do you think this is a good way to reduce risk?" He says the ticker's DPI. Have you heard about the DeFi Pulse Index? What's token sets? If that's not really too many, are you familiar with that at all, Alex? Or are we just showing token
No, it
sets
sounds
here?
like another index
Token
that an
sets.
exchange is putting together.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not an FTX, then I guess we'll have to look into this. So if you're showing token sets,
I'm
I'm not sure.
interested in your thoughts, person, on how you think it can be used to reduce risk. Overall, if you have a basket of DeFi shitcoins, I don't know how getting involved at all in it is going to reduce your risk on it. Except I don't know, unless you feel like somehow diversifying into a bunch of different shitcoins reduces your risk of losing money on shitcoins. I'm not really sure it necessarily works that
Maybe
way.
you're holding bags of, DeFi Uniswap coins, and
Yeah,
you're stuck with those because you don't want to pay the fees. So you log on to
yeah,
token sets to to short while you simultaneously hold these bags into the ground. I guess that's
I
one way of
see.
de-risking it, maybe. I don't know, but I'm kind of mostly messing around here. Um, Zach Coma says Bybit is adding USDT pairs for Litecoin, Ethereum, Link, and Tezos shortly. I didn't know that. So anybody else hear about this? Litecoin or hold on, USDT pairs. Okay, gotcha, for Litecoin, Link, and Tezos. I didn't even know that. They did bring Tezos to Bybit? I didn't know that. Or are they bringing this together with
I don't think
this?
so. I think they're. I hope it means they bring perpetual contracts too.
Yep, that would be interesting. Let's see here. David Rice, ADA BTC, please. What's Cardano doing?
I like it in this spot. I would want to take it long. Maybe probably up here. Yeah, I would totally catch this long. I like it in this spot. You can take it long right here. Fucking set a stop right below here, and then see what happens.
All right, we're gonna have to follow up on this one. Tomorrow's
Yeah,
or
I like that wick into point of control right here. Increasing volume, decreasing sell volume. This spot.
looks like a good long.
Yeah.
Tyler Dukacheks, he asks, Alex, what are your thoughts on Link? You mean in general, or do you want to see a chart, Tyler?
Mm.
What do you think, Alex? Link. As David Rice says, accept your losses and move on.
Mm. You know, I like Link to at least. I'd want to take it to around $13 and then take some profit and then just like wait and see. We could retest this area up here. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, but also with the way the rest of the market is, we easily retest this area right here and then if there's enough market weakness, we break down. Let's Yeah, we're still below the overall trend as things have been. So, guys, this is just such a hard part of the market to, get a grip on.
And Link has seen so much growth in the last 12 months, let's say, and I can't help but think some of it has to be given back, or I mean, a lot of it has already, but makes me wonder if there's more to give. All right. Next few questions in here. Maybe we'll go to the news shortly. Cornhole, you ask, is Justin coming, guys? You know what? He was supposed to be here by now. If he hasn't gotten here, I'm not 100% sure what exactly is going on. Maybe stuck in traffic or something like that. I know he got caught behind the wheel of the car for a bit, so if Justin's not here yet, he might be along in a bit. I can't say for certain just yet, guys, but we will try and do everything we can in his absence, and of course to the members, check out the Discord for Justin's analysis posted. Let's see here. ADA USDT. I know we did ADA BTC, but could we check out ADA USDT for Tijo? Like, what's up with ADA? Is this the one?
All right.
Is this the one to rule them all?
Guys, it looks bullish like the Bitcoin pairing. Belong here.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got to check back on ADA in a couple of days. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I mean, all these alts are wandering up to the previous areas of resistance. Like, they all look the same. It's all the same chart. Yeah. That's why I haven't focused a lot on the individual charts. Like, all these alt charts are basically the same. Like ADA USDT here, XRP USDT. They're all wandering back up into this area. And all the charts, they just look so similar. So Bitcoin dominance is rising, guys. I would just try and avoid the alts right now unless suddenly the entire sector explodes again. And then you'll have a few days notice, for, what will probably be a several months long run. So, like, definitely do. I can always tell what the audience is thinking and feeling by the amount of requests I get, and it's really disturbing the amount of alt requests I'm getting right now, guys. You guys should really be sitting on the sidelines and waiting to see what happens over the next week or two, and not rushing into alts. Even though, yes, there's some decent trades on the table, but these are not buy. I don't necessarily think it's buy and hold time.
Well, there you have it. How about we fire up the ChartX real quick? I got at least one ChartX
Okay, what we
request. We got DOS on ChartX.
Okay, we have not looked at shitty enough shitcoins, folks.
Yeah, just to put like a punctuation mark on what you just said, let's fire up the ChartX.
Okay. Nah, man. There is nothing to recommend this chart to anyone. Yeah, I would not buy this. I don't think you should. It could easily
Absolutely
go down
not.
to here or go down to here.
Totally.
Yeah.
No
Buy
signs.
this if you want to lose money, guys.
No signs of life here. All right. Anybody watching closely right now, if you got a ChartX request, shove in the chat now while we got the ChartX window open. This is your closing opportunity. Alex, do you have any ChartX? Is there something you can pull out of this swamp, out of this sewer of dead coins, that you can think of off the top of your head? Anything juicy? Possibly. How about Uni? Can we look at least Uni? Because personally, I haven't looked at Uni, so maybe we could take a quick look at Uni.
What, Uniswap token?
Yep.
It's kind of shitty. We could end up posting a 3-day long signal. Things have been pretty bearish for Uni. We did not break. We didn't really break through here. Although the short that I called did end up procuring. We didn't end up breaking down further than here. I would probably wait for one more drop on Uniswap, shake people out, and then it might be long time again. I would not be eager to buy this spot necessarily. There's still a lot of sell volume here and not a lot of buy volume. But we did find some strong support, so I don't want to.
All right. Well, since I promised the chat we do at least another ChartX request or two, someone's asking for Sora on ChartX, SORA.
So
the same Sora?
XOR was, like, as we all know, one of the ones that got away. Well, it's held up pretty well.
Oh, it is XOR.
I would probably want to short this spot. Looks probably like we're trapped under resistance. If you, I don't think there is anywhere to short it. I'd probably just like get out. But yeah, just doesn't look that strong to me here. We got falling buying volume. There's not a lot of buying volume here either. Nope, there's another one I would stay out of still.
Right, well, I see Cody here in the live chat, and he's asking, what do you guys think of XVS? It's low market cap, newly listed in the Binance ecosystem. Yeah, have you heard of this, Alex? This XVS, aka Venus? It's only on Binance, and it's
I know
supposedly...
nothing about it.
Yeah.
My impression of Binance Launchpad tokens is it's a way for Binance to dump worthless tokens on people's heads.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it sometimes. But for those who are curious, Venus described as the algorithmic money market and synthetic stablecoin exclusively on the Binance Smart Chain. So this is some kind of stablecoin, some kind of synthetic. So maybe this is like a make or die type item. I don't know. I'm just reading.
Well, if it's a synthetic stablecoin, then it's not really something we can make money off of, is it?
Let's see here. We'd have to, I guess, maybe pull up that XVS Binance chart, see what it looks like. Don't know much about it. Clearly, it's fairly new. I'm not even sure if there's going to be much.
I don't think it's like on Binance. Oh, it is.
Okay. We have like a week's worth
I
of
certainly
data.
wouldn't buy it today or this week.
Oh, it's a comp, not a stable coin.
It's a what?
It's a comp.
What the fuck's a comp?
Some kind of kind of like how Compound works. Liquidity miner potentially type coin. Again, I don't know much about Venus, and I'm going by what Cody's saying here in the live chat.
Okay, well, yeah, there's really nothing to say. It is like every other. I'm sure it's like every other token. It is new. People are in the process of dumping on initial buyers' heads. There is probably vaporware product or no product at all, and it's a copy of Compound or something.
Yeah, he just, as Cody says here, it's a compound copy, and that's kind of what I gathered when I read one of these further sentences in this paragraph, that enables users to utilize their crypto by supplying collateral to the network that can be borrowed by pledging over-collateralized cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so it's basically a compound clone, and yeah. I mean, it might do what Comp did on Smart. If Binance Smart Chain is the future, if CZ has his way and they undermine Bitcoin or Ethereum and they give the degens what they want, and that's just one big casino with low fees, yeah, maybe this Venus will become the compound of the leading smart contract chain known as Binance Smart Chain. But
see, that's just it. It's like I don't really feel like yield farmers are degen gamblers in the way a lot of us traders are. People who are yield farming think that they are getting something, they are getting a safer return on their collateral, which is often, as we have found out, not the case. It's a lie. It is a lie that that I think the sector promulgates, even though if you were to ask the individual creators, like, oh yeah, you could lose all your money messing with this stuff, but it's not the way it's presented to people. It's certainly not the way it's talked about in crypto media. I just, I don't think yield farmers are degens in the same way that like a lot of traders are. I'll even put myself in that same basket. Like, I don't want to make it sound, like I'm, trying to avoid any responsibility here. I feel
Sh-
people are lied to. They see these high APY numbers and they don't realize that they're being paid in because the because the token has been valued on the market as having X value. They don't realize they're being given a worthless token. A lot of it is, you get at the end of a staking period, or there's vesting, and you get to the end of that period, and then the token ends up being worth zero. And we said it before on the show. You're not making money if you have 60% more of a token that's worth $0.
yeah, I think sure there's I think some maybe the most shrewd of the yield farmers may make away like bandits, but generally speaking, I think a lot of people who like buy in and out of these tokens are not necessarily even engaging
Yeah.
in staking or yield farming. These are just like the narratives. These are the sales pitches. This mystique of DeFi, lures people in to buy and not necessarily actually engage in the farming contract. That's maybe left for some of the more shrewd personalities. So I guess the people that I'm describing maybe do fall into the degen category. They're on crypto Twitter. They hear about the hot new DeFi yield farming token. They don't know what any of that means, but they're piling into it, right? So something like the compound of Binance Smart Chain, and that sounds like a pretty decent sales pitch. Maybe that could pump. Maybe it's just narratives that win in these fervorous markets. So maybe Venus is going to have something going for it in that regard. Same way SushiSwap, right? SushiSwap, the Uniswap ripoff. That kind of sales pitch, that kind of marketing gimmick, ripping off something that's established, it clearly works, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that does
Alluring
work.
the suckers, at
It's
least.
established. Yeah, I just a copy of something that was originally suspected to be worthless is much more likely to be even more so.
Available to you at Binance. CZ is hosting all degens at his casino. They will comp
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
They will comp you free drinks even. So come buy your Venus with us, guys. I think my Zero bonus is down 34% in dollar value. You know what? That's what I've noticed. Ron Legato, he's talking about Zero bonus. He's being down. I am too. I bought Zero after the MCO swap, and but I mostly wanted to get the card, right? And so to me, even losing the entire balance of CRO, it's an okay cost to get my hands on this juicy card. But I have noticed, because I am in the CRO community, I'm on their Discord. A lot of
We're
people are
so angry.
very, very unhappy with what's happened
For good
recently.
reason. Crypto.com changes their promises that they have made to paying investors all the time. They're like, okay, I know we promised you this one staking percentage, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be this lower number. Okay, I know we promised you this certain amount of cash back on your card, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be this other number. Hey, I know you bought a lot of MCO, but that's not going to be the blockchain. It's going to be this other blockchain. Oh, by the way, you're going to be forced off that blockchain at this inflated exchange rate on CRO. And now that the exchange is complete, all the CRO that you have is going to become worth much, much less. all that value went to someone. Hello, guess who created both chains? Crypto.com people. I mean, I've seen people complaining about the spread on Crypto.com's app. There, especially if you go to buy some shitcoins on Crypto.com, this one person said they had 30% slippage when they bought ICX token. I don't know why you'd be buying ICX token, but this guy did it, and he had like a huge slippage. You would think a multi-$100 million company could pay to have like slightly better market making or slightly better liquidity on their exchange, but they don't want to because they're doing it to steal money from people. It's on purpose. In the same way that BitMEX's overloads are on purpose. Bybit doesn't have overloads. FTX doesn't have overloads. There's the reason these things are happening the way they happen. It's because it benefits the people who run them.
And calling them out, calling the CRO and the BitMEXs of the world out. Alex can always be counted on to not hold any punches. But you know what, dude? You summarized it perfectly. The laundry list of issues and broken promises at CRO. Now, honestly, I for some reason I'll still take it. I just want the damn card. But one of the recent things.
Cards are very pretty. I cannot say if someone was like, Alex, do you not want a card? I'd be like, no, fuck yeah, I want a card. Give me a card, man. Where's my card? But man, it just seems like it's a constant bait and switch.
It's been a lot of slaps in the face lately.
I would put down like a certain amount, and then I would get a card that had certain features, and then that was that. That's cool. Okay. I'll take that risk, but it's never that with Crypto.com.
The interest rate cut. People who aren't aware, the previous.
Even their name changed. It used to be Monaco. Now it's Crypto.com.
Everything's changed, but it just seems to be tick tock, one change after another. But the interest rate, if you staked zero previously, they offered a pretty juicy interest rate of 16% APY. They announced like last week that they're cutting that to like 8%. Basically in half. I think
they originally announced 6%, and then people had such a large outcry. Like, okay, maybe we won't fuck you over that hard. Maybe it'll be like 8%.
Yep. And so that I think was like one of the reasons why we've seen the price decline this week. Potentially a lot of unhappiness in the Crypto.com camp, and I just don't know when it's gonna stop. The goalposts keep moving on the products and services at CRO.
Yeah, I was reading I think I was reading a Reddit thread on crypto.
Yeah, as Cody says, you never know what they're going to change the quote-unquote perks. I guess everything in this space is a huge gamble. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. These are all... and honestly, one thing we learned from Crypto.com, I mean, we weren't really affected, but the European customers were with the whole Wirecard issue. Yeah, that's not directly related to crypto, but it just goes to show you that, the primary function of Crypto.com for most users is the MCO card. And, if the MCO card...
quote-unquote zero fee... crypto buying right now, but it's not really zero fee when their spreads are awful.
Yep. So, I mean, I still think it's he's got good marketing and everything. I think it's a worthy Coinbase competitor, so I'm still fully satisfied here. But I'm a newcomer to the Crypto.com ecosystem, so I can totally understand if you've been with Crypto.com for a year, if you've been with MCO and the whole project for 4 years, you're probably super bitter right now. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are bitter right now because of the declining price, right? Like you said earlier, it looks like they manipulated for that whole MCO CRO swap. They look like they manipulated the average CRO price leading up to that whole window.
I mean, hello. Look at that. Look how unnatural CRO looks here. It just keeps going up.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was really brutal. People were really angry about that when they announced the swap at the end of that.
Yeah.
Brutal.
They announced the swap like up here. It's like, congratulations. Like your MCO is like down here. CRO's all the way up there, and then you're going to do the swap, and now it's over, and all your CRO is going to be worth 50% as much. All that money
Yep.
is basically in crypto.com's pocket because they created CRO out of nothing after
Yeah.
doing the same thing with MCO, which was brilliant. They like double gotcha.
Oh, it's the closer you look, the worse it gets. But you know what,
Yeah.
man? I bought the Zero. I bought my majority of my Zero bag, kind of near that top a few weeks ago, and I did it knowing that we could very well give a lot of this back. But damn it, I'll just throw a few ETH into my Zero swap and get me the card I've always
Yeah,
wanted.
average down. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. It definitely is. I suggest you guys read this thread that I have up. Feel free to take it all with a grain of salt, but there is a lot of different complaints by a lot of different users for a lot of, I think, very valid reasons.
Yeah, this whole space is a real viper's nest. All right, so let's see. How long have we been going? We've been going hour 20 minutes. Unfortunately, Justin hasn't shown up yet, guys. We were hoping to just kind of carry things along until Justin was able to show up and throw his 2 cents in on this Monday. But I don't think he's going to make it, so I think we're going to kind of head toward the close. So let's, Alex, I'll give you the opportunity to go through any other charts if you so do choose, and maybe
Let's
I'm
open
gonna
up
pull.
crypto bubbles and let's open up crypto bubbles and see if there's anything like really putting in a big day today. Bitcoin is apparently. No, this is on price. There we go. Zill, Dash, XMR, XLM. I see why you were asking about it here. I guess it is, guys. I guess when the entire market is doing this shitty, then a few lights do shine. Look at these large sat ones. Dash does not look bad in this spot for continuation. Probably take it back up into at least this area, if not here. Everything else I would continue to be wary of. And I think I might put up a BNB short here. The long we put up, it just doesn't look like it's going to hold out, and it's going to go the way of the rest of the exchange tokens. So something to consider, guys. Consider being short exchange tokens for right now, and then keeping a wary eye on Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is still rising, so until we see a reversal in that, we're really kind of taking it easy on alts. There may be a few exceptions. We may decide to take some trades, but we're not going to be doing any buying and holding trading for a while until we see a sign that alt season is back around, which we have not seen. A lot of these alts still look topped out in some ways.
Maybe a quick look at BCH. I think that was mentioned earlier. I don't think we touched on it.
I can't really make up my mind on it. A lot of these a lot of the major alts would look strong and what actually is what I want to look at. Shoot, come on. There we go. I mentioned that just because we were getting a signal here, we did not want to necessarily take it because we could just reject from resistance. And as you can see, we clearly have done that. I expect further downside on Litecoin Bitcoin here. So I expect Litecoin to continue to lose value versus Bitcoin. EOS Bitcoin, another one of the majors. With this rejection wick right here, making new lows, I expect this to continue. This is really rough for EOS right here. Hopefully we get a reversal signal soon because we're breaking out of the bottom of this long-term descending triangle, or wedge rather. And then I think a similar story. Look at XRP. Yeah. Rejection from up here, return down here. And I would expect continuation here. So I expect XRP to also continue to lose value versus Bitcoin. So except for a few notable exceptions like Dash in this spot, XMR for the last month. It just I would keep your eyes on Bitcoin and just forget about the alts right now. Guys, alt season was an amazing run. I know you want to replicate it, but it is not time yet.
Words of wisdom. All right, I'm going to dip into my browser real quick, switch away from Alex's screen. I'm just going to touch on this because we did have this in the title, something we need to get into, and that, of course, is Fed Chair Jerome Powell talks digital currencies at the IMF. This was a bit of the newsmaker this morning when the Fed Chair Jerome Powell appeared at the annual International Monetary Fund meeting earlier today, where the key topic was cross-border payments and digital currencies, and it was being addressed by central bankers from around the world. Powell, of course, has famously chimed in on the topic of digital currencies in the past. Earlier this year, he described Facebook's Libra project as a wake-up call for the financial overlords. He also previously stated that it's unclear how a move toward digital currency will affect the US dollar's role as the global reserve currency, calling the future role of the US dollar in this digital revolution an open question, quote unquote. Today, analysts and observers tuned into the IMF broadcast in order to gain clarity on any plans for the US dollar to go digital, and describing the principal reason why a CBDC may come to the United States Federal Reserve banking system. Jerome Powell said the following: there are a number of ways that a CBDC might improve the payment system, and it is mainly the area that motivates our interest. So Powell pointing out that payments, and I guess, I don't know if that's payment processing per se, but he calls it payment system, is the primary area that they think is interesting for improvement. So Powell's very much on the traditional side of finance, but some of his recent comments have been forward-looking, and his very attendance signals recognition of the importance of digital currencies, said Jason Dean, a Bitcoin analyst at Quantum Economics. So not much was said. Clearly, they're still very apprehensive about going digital. This could still be something that might take a decade or more to unfold, but still, people say this is a milestone. This was a big IMF meeting with all the big world bankers coming to talk about their nation's interest in developing CBDCs. And generally, the main takeaway I had, the U.S. seems to be apprehensive on this front, but I did observe other nations' banking leaders say that they're going in to at least into the testing phase to see exactly what can be rolled out. Any thoughts, Alex, on today's Jerome Powell appearance at the IMF?
I actually don't have much to say on it. I just kind of don't believe anything that comes out of Jerome Powell's mouth. So if he says that they're not currently looking at it, then that means that they are currently looking at it. I'm not sure how oppositely I feel what he's saying, but generally you should never trust anything that comes out of the Federal Reserve because it's like all public relations basically.
Indeed. So
Anything that they say is designed to move the economy in the way they want the economy to move, they're not going to say something that would move the economy in a way that they didn't want it to move. So basically, everything you say that comes out of the Fed should come with a grain of salt.
Yep. And as Powell says, we do think it's more important to get it right than to be first. So they are willing to cede some ground in this race for digital digital currency, which is completely fair. And as he points out, in the U.S., we have a highly banked population, so that many, although not all, already have access to electronic payment systems. And this is true, right? To kind of there's already a massive industry of commercial banking and their interests, and there's a lot of people at these headquarters, all the customer service staff. This is a big industry known as commercial banking, and to suddenly upset all that and put everybody onto a different system, I don't think that's going to be very easy. Maybe in more developing nations where they don't have a lot of that infrastructure fully rolled out yet, this is going to be much easier thing to sell them on. But in the U.S., of course, we have issues, as Powell pointed out in February, cyber issues and privacy concerns. And those are definitely two big ones. And I'm not surprised. A lot of the bankers and elites probably want to hide where the money comes and goes from. So I don't know if you're going to have them super happy about an unprivate system. Me personally, I don't have that much to hide. I'd almost welcome a more transparent banking system. I mean, yes, I would never want to eschew privacy, but at the same time, it's almost like it's all these regulators and these banks and these central banking figures. They are the ones that need to open up their books. Our books are wide open to them. Maybe they need to show us what they got, right? Seems to be a one-way street. Maybe a more transparent digital currency would help all of that. Looks like we'll have to wait before the U.S. announces a digital currency. And I guess off of this, we can say, I don't know what kind of vibe you're getting from the mainstream media on the whole Trump Biden thing, but I see a lot of talk that Trump is bad for the economy, or going in 2021 going forward at least, because Trump is supposedly adverse. The Republican-controlled House is supposedly adverse to any more stimulus, whereas I see the media making a case, an argument for Biden being good, because once the Democrats come to power, they are going to crank up the stimulus spending to kind of give everybody the help that they need during the COVID crisis. What do you think? Do you think this is any truth to this narrative? Is Biden and the Democrats better for the economy? Do you think they're going to be more forward with the stimulus than a Republican-led administration?
I've noted what you noted, that last week, and I think I mentioned that on the show, that essentially right after Trump was like, I'm not going to support any stimulus, all of a sudden Wall Street started coming out with all these notices about, hey, maybe Democrats would be good for the economy. Maybe they would spend more, and we don't need Trump after all. Do all these other things that we said we needed him before to do for the economy. And actually, Democrats are good for the economy, despite everything we've been saying all along. I think Wall Street is clearly kind of had it with Trump. It's not like they won't make do, but maybe they got what they wanted out of him already. The powers that be. I can't really say for sure, but I don't know which is true. I guess I don't necessarily have a firm enough grasp of what makes the global economy tick to know for sure if Democrats spending, which fine, Democrats will probably spend more on healthcare and entitlements and stuff like that. The Republicans will, and maybe hopefully more on infrastructure too, although they haven't yet. Is that going to help the economy? Is it going to be enough to save the economy after the death blows that have been dealt to it recently? I don't know. Maybe. I guess we'll find out. I
don't know if there's any substance to these narratives or if they're just red herrings thrown out by the media. But one thing I did read last week, I think I read something along the lines of Wall Street contributions, I've greatly biased in favor of Biden. So supposedly Wall Street is donating to Biden, not so much Trump. So if there is anything to take away, might be that, yeah, indeed, maybe everyone's allegiance is with the Dems. All right, I can't seem my chat is a little broken. I can't seem to scroll any further, but you know what, guys? I think we got to head toward the exits. It's been a lot of fun today. Thank you to everybody who showed up for today's breaking Bitcoin market update. Shout outs to Alex.
Thank you. I hope you managed to get something out of today's market talk. It really feels like this week we're gonna. I say this week, but I mean it could be next week. But it feels like this week we're gonna get a firm answer on whether we should be long the markets or short the markets, but we don't have the answer yet, guys. And like I would highly advise you to avoid rushing into a position that you could find yourself on the wrong side of, and then you gotta over leverage yourself to try and average in, and then you're staring at the chart all day. You're just hoping like, oh man, I went long here. I hope Alex ends up being wrong, or you're like, or maybe you went super short in this spot. You're like, oh, I hope Alex ends up being right. Man, I hope I end up being right too, but you should not go super anything right now until we've got some confirmation. But there's definitely some scalp positions out there, guys. There's the scalp long we talked about on Bitcoin. There's the Forex positions. There's plenty of stuff out there, but don't get married to any positions. Just take small ones and stay mostly flat. That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting on mostly cash right now, guys. I gotta tell you.
There you have it, guys. So Bitcoin currently closing the hour up at 11,708. So things don't look too bad. Just if you're just waking up and taking a look at your portfolio right now, unless you're heavy in alts, of course. But I think that covers it for today. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I would scroll up and say hi to a few more people, but my live chat is broken right now, and we gotta head toward the exit. So once again, thank you so much to everybody who came out. Shout outs to senior analyst Alex. Sorry to anybody who's waiting on Justin to show up. I'm sure he will be back for tomorrow's show at least. If not, catch us in the Discord. You know what to do. That's it. Heading toward close. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.